Hello. It has been long. I just finished watching Aditya Dhar's Dhurandar, and I just could not stop myself from talking about it. Let me start with this. Dhurandar is a great gangster film. It's a fantastic action blockbuster. The performances are stellar across the board, the production design is immersive, and the action sequences are visceral. But here's the thing. It's a fairly ordinary spy film. And that's a problem because Dhurandar was marketed as an espionage thriller. So now I want to talk about why the film succeeds in one genre while failing in another, and what opportunities were missed along the way. Because this isn't about tearing down a film, it's about understanding what makes the spy genre work and why Dhurandar, despite all its craft and ambition, doesn't quite get there. Let's dive in. So first, let's talk about what Dhurandar actually is versus what it tries to be. At its core, Dhurandar operates as a gangster film based on Operation Layari. It follows Hamza Ali Mazari's infiltration into the Layari underworld, his rise through the ranks of the Baloch gang, and his eventual mission to dismantle terror networks. The film takes its time, all 3.5 hours of it, to show you the mechanics of organized crime, the power struggle between gangs and politicians, and the brutal realities of this world. And in that respect, it works. The recreation of Layari feels authentic. Akshay Khanna's Rahman Dakat is magnetic, menacing presence. He steals every scene he is in. The world building is meticulous. If you are watching this as a crime epic, as a spiritual successor of films like Gangs of Wasepur, Rakt Charitra, or even The Godfather, there's a lot to admire here. But the spy genre has different requirements, different pleasures, and that's where Dhurandar stumbles. See, good espionage cinema is fundamentally about duality, about the friction between who you are and who you pretend to be. It's about psychological tension, about the strain of maintaining a cover, about the moral complexity of living a lie, about the friction between what is just in personal life versus what is just in geopolitics. The best spy films understand that the central drama isn't just physical, it's internal. Dhurandar doesn't engage with any of that. Hamza's cover identity, a violent gangster, is not shown to be meaningfully different from his true identity. Both personas seem to rely on intimidation, physical prowess, and hypermasculinity. There's no mask to maintain, no performance that strains against his nature, no psychological cost to his deception. And that's why, despite its ambition, Dhurandar feels like a gangster film in spy's clothing. Some of these issues could have been solved by simple formal experimentation. Imagine if the film had opened with Hamza delivering weapons to the people who carried out 2611. Then we would not have to deal with Scarface Agnipath-style red hands, and the impact would have been as strong as Wissam Ahmad Kashmiri being a trainer for Al-Qaeda themselves. Dhurandar is 212 minutes long, 3 hours and 32 minutes, and it's structured completely linearly. We start with terror attacks that are used as an excuse to discredit A.S. Dulat. Then we meet Hamza entering Pakistan, watch him infiltrate the underworld, see him rise through the ranks step by step, and eventually witness his mission unfold chronologically. For a gangster film, this works. Crime epics often use this accumulation approach. You are watching someone's journey, their transformation, their ascent or descent. But for a spy thriller, this creates a fundamental problem. The spy genre thrives on the manipulation of time and information. It's about what we know, what the characters know, and the gaps between these states of knowledge. Non-linear structures, flashbacks that recontextualize present action, carefully calibrated reveals. These aren't just stylistic flourishes. They are essential to creating the intellectual engagement that defines espionage cinema. Think about Vishwarupam for a moment. That film doesn't start with the spy's recruitment. It opens in medias res in New York, when Kamal Haasan, playing an effeminate Kathak dance teacher, navigates a domestic dispute. We spend the first act aligned with his wife's perspective, viewing him with confusion and even dismissal. And then the narrative explodes when his true identity is revealed, forcing us to re-evaluate everything we have seen. The film then weaves between present-day nuclear threat and extended flashbacks to Afghanistan, where Wissam infiltrated Al-Qaeda. These aren't just exposition dumps. They are tonal counterpoints that deepen the present's timeline. The audience becomes an active participant, decoding the narrative, piecing together the puzzle. Dhurandar gives us none of that. We are passive observers watching a historical reenactment unfold chronologically. And for a 3.5-hour runtime, that's exhausting. The first half builds a solid foundation, but the second half struggles to maintain momentum because we are just waiting for the stakes to escalate, for the payoff to arrive. Imagine if Dhurandar had opened with 2611, the horror, the chaos, the national trauma, and then revealed Hamza's multi-year infiltration through fragmented high-stakes flashback and how that helped the terrorists get the weapons they wanted. Suddenly you have compressed the runtime, heightened the mystery, and given the audience something to investigate rather than just observe. The linear structure isn't wrong. It's just better suited to a different kind of film. And I can't help but feel that Dhurandar would have been significantly stronger if it had embraced the formal experimentation that the spy genre not only allows but demands. And then there is Ranveer Singh, the film's biggest missed opportunity. Ranveer is phenomenal in the film. The physical transformation, the commitment to the brutality of the role, the sheer presence he brings. It's all there. He is a beast. But we all know by now Ranveer Singh has an extraordinary range. He has played the flamboyant theatricality of Alauddin Khilji in Padmavat, the effusive romanticism of Rocky or Rani, the manic energy of Gully Boy. He is an actor capable of dramatic tonal shifts, of inhabiting contradictory states, of making duality not just believable but captivating. Dhurandar asks him to maintain one note for 212 minutes. Hamza is always intense, always brooding, always the hardened operative. Even his moments of vulnerability, like when he weeps after killing Rahman, read as trauma rather than the psychological strain of sustained deception. And this is where the comparison to Vishwarupam becomes most instructive. In that film, Kamal Haasan plays Vishwanath, an effeminate Kathak dance teacher